For the article, The Importance of Cultural Sensitivity in Business Dealing, we have covered understanding the importance of cultural sensitivity and doing your research. For the lecture this week, we will finish the remaining paragraphs about reducing communication barriers, reviewing workplace etiquette, and showing respect and empathy. Before you listen to my explanation of those paragraphs, I would like you to do some pre-reading activities, which are skimming and scanning. When you skim, please underline the topic sentence, and when you scan, please number the supporting sentences used in those paragraphs. Now pause the lecture and come back when you are done. Okay, I assume you did what I asked you to do. Now let's go to the first paragraph of our lecture this week, Reduce Communication Barriers. Let me read it for you first. One of the biggest barriers to cross-cultural business dealings is communication. Your business stakeholders may speak a different language or dialect or use hyper-local phrases with which you aren't familiar. Even though English is used as the international language of business, people have different levels of fluency. In some parts of the world, speaking directly and plainly is common in business. In other parts, more nuanced phrasing is seen as proper business behavior. As a result, it's critical to understand the way your business stakeholders communicate so you can ensure your message doesn't get lost in translation. So, the topic sentence here is, of course, the first sentence. One of the biggest barriers in cross-cultural communication is indeed communication. So, the first is language barrier. So, people might speak German, Italian, or Japanese, but sometimes people whom you are dealing with might speak a different dialect. So a dialect is a form of language spoken at a particular part of a country. Okay? So if you visit a customer from China, maybe they might speak a completely strange dialect you have never heard of before, or even use hyper-local phrases. What does it mean? It means phrases or expressions or words people know in that particular country only. If you speak that language but you're not local, you might still don't know anything about that. So one example is a phrase Taiwanese people use quite often recently, 是在 hello. So if you use this word to a second language, speaker, Chinese language speaker, they might still don't understand what you are talking about. And speaking directly might be good in certain countries because they value clarity and efficiency. So if you have something in your mind, you can speak your mind. But in other countries, you need to use more nuanced phrasing. So what does nuance mean? Nuance means made slightly different, small differences in appearance, meaning, or sound. So if you use nuanced phrasing, it means there is more room for people to interpret. So it's not in black and white completely. Okay. And more importantly, people's levels of fluency of a particular language is different. So we must pay attention to these differences so that we can ensure our message doesn't get lost in translation. So this is quite a commonly used phrase. It means not very good as a result of being translated into another language or told in a different way. It means it's not authentic. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. Reduce communication barriers. Now the second paragraph, review workplace etiquette. So from our lesson last week, we know etiquette means a set of rules people follow in social groups or social situations. Let me read this paragraph for you first. Take time to figure out the workplace etiquette norms of your business stakeholders. Our cultures play a big role in how we use body language to communicate at work. In North America, making eye contact during a business transaction shows honesty and an effort to establish a connection. However, in Middle East, making sustained eye contact with a person of the opposite gender can be seen as inappropriate. In some parts of the world, frontline employees don't make eye contact with their superiors because it's considered rude. Lack of cultural awareness examples include making eye contact with people from cultures where it is frowned upon. Sometimes what is not said is also a cultural variation. In most Western countries, silence is seen as a problem. It signals that the person to whom you are speaking is disinterested or not paying attention. On the other hand, silence can be used to show agreement in some Eastern countries. In some Aboriginal cultures, it is important to have a period of silence before answering a question. So the key here is, of course, different rules people follow in different cultures. So it's the first sentence. We must take time to sort out the workplace etiquette norms of our business stakeholders. So one example is eye contact. In Western countries, it's very important and it is polite to look at the person to whom you are talking. But in some countries such as the Middle East, this might be impolite, okay, because of religious reason or social class. And the other example the paragraph uses is the role of silence. In Western countries, silence is problematic because it shows that you are not paying attention or you are not interested. But in Eastern countries such as Taiwan, silence is okay because it is used to show agreement, or we do have an expression or saying in Chinese called silence is golden, 沉默是金. So different cultures do things differently and they follow different rules. So sustain here means continuing for a long time. Okay, the last paragraph, show respect and empathy. The key goal of being culturally sensitive is to show others respect. Make an effort to learn about the cultural customs your employees, customers, and partners hold dear. Show them you value your relationship with them by sharing in their customs. For example, if a Muslim colleague is celebrating Eid, a major religious holiday, bring a treat to enjoy together. If a customer is from a different country and celebrates a national holiday, wish him well on that day. Small acts of kindness can go a long way in showing others the importance of cultural sensitivity in business. So, this paragraph is about being respectful for other cultures. So the topic sentence is, of course, the first one. The key goal of being culturally sensitive is to show respect. So we need to know what other people hold dear. So hold dear means something people consider important or valuable. And one example it uses here is the Muslim festival called Eid. So Eid in Arabic means feast, festival, or holiday. And on the day of Eid, it is a festival to break the fast. So people will be eating, drinking, and celebrating nonstop. So if you do have a Muslim colleague on that day, you can bring treat to celebrate it with them, or you have other colleagues from other countries celebrating certain festivals, you give them your good wishes to show them that you respect their cultures. And that's why it says small acts of kindness. It is those small actions we take in our everyday life that can sustain a good relationships. So small acts of kindness, do go a long way. Okay, that's it for the article, The Importance of Cultural Sensitivity in Business Dealing. We have learned 5 sections on understanding the importance of cultural sensitivity, doing our own research, and how to reduce communication barriers, how to review workplace etiquette, and finally, how to show respect and empathy.